Hey everyone, it's Mike the Star Turtle here, and today I'll be reviewing the South Korean period war film Tae Guk Gi, The Brotherhood of War, directed by Kang Ji Gil and starring Jang Dong-gun and Won Bin. 1951, South Korea. Two brothers are just living their lives, going around doing all kinds of stuff. Jin Tae, the older brother, a shoe shiner, trying to make sure his younger brother Jin Suk goes to college. Jin Tae has also got a fiancée. They both got a mother and several orphan children that they're all taking care of. Life is, for the most part, going okay, but then war breaks out when North Korea invades, and both brothers end up getting drafted into the South Korean army. Even though he's got a fiancée, as you be thinking about, Jin Tae is desperate to get his younger brother out of the military. He keeps volunteering for all these dangerous assignments, trying to get recognized, get promotions, that kind of stuff. Try to gain some political clout so he can send his younger brother back home. Much to Jin Suk's dismay, because he's like I said, he's like, as far as Jin Suk's concerned, he's the one who's got less to live for. Let's go. And as the war goes on, Jin Tae starts to maybe not necessarily enjoy battle, but he definitely starts to really get into it. And because he's actually really good at it too. Like, it doesn't really say much about whether or not he's been in any bouts before the war, but yes. But this of course creates even more friction between the brothers, and it's war as hell, and a lot of shit happens. The name of this movie, Taegukgi, it's actually also the name of the South Korean flag, which I guess is supposed to be ironic, because this is not a very patriotic film. It's Saving Private Ryan is a more patriotic film than that. It's more patriotic than this movie, and Saving Private Ryan's still not that patriotic. It's really just a movie about people at war, not nationalism. So, yeah, this is just like Saving Private Ryan. This is a personal war story. The two brothers just going through all these hellish battle scenes, very well done battle scenes. And, definitely on par with Saving Private Ryan as far as the scale goes. And just a little bit of backstory. The whole Korean Peninsula was pretty much under the control of Japan from the early 1900s all the way up to the end of World War II. And then after World War II, they ended up getting divided and split north and south. North, of course, being pro-communist, while South being more pro-nationalist. And this, of course, the movie doesn't paint the North in a very positive light. Of course, I mean, North did technically invade the South, so you gotta give them that. But one thing I respect it for is that it doesn't really portray the South as much better. Like, the South does some shitty things. In fact, like one thing that they go into later on, I won't spoil the details of what leads up to it, but during the war, when several villages were under northern occupation in the South, a lot of innocent civilians were forced to sign forms to become communist officially in order to get food, since they were starving. And once those villages were taken back by the South Korean government pretty much just ordered anyone who signed any of those documents becoming communists as traitors, label them as traitors, and order them executed, most of them without even a trial. And it's a really intense scene that deals with that. I won't go into what leads up to that scene, but it's a pretty powerful scene. And yeah, the movie was directed by, of course, Kang Ji Gil. Of course, I always got to reread his name before I say it again. Just one of those names. But yeah, he also directed Shuri, and he hasn't really directed that much else. He directed a movie called My Way, a very similar film to this one, a few years after this. But he's a really good director, but he just hasn't done that. I wish he'd do more, but we'll see what happens in the future. Both the lead actors are good in their roles. Won Bun, he's in one of my favorite Korean movies a few years from this. The Man from Nowhere, a very awesome movie, which I'll also review. Choi Min-sik, the original Old Boy, he has a cameo as a North Korean officer. It's always good to see him. Like I said, really, really well done battle scenes. Definitely on par with anything you've seen in Saving Private Ryan or Fury. A lot of shaky cam, unfortunately, but there's for the most part you can always tell what's going on, so it's never really a detriment. Also, toward the end, there are some really bad CGI planes during the final battle, like which were really lamely. Like, I guess getting authentic period war, because like this movie is pretty spot on as far as the costumes and the set design and the budget. They got real Sherman tanks in one scene. I guess they just ran out of money with the planes, so they had to do what they could. But that brief scene, especially because they're in the final battle, it does take you out of the movie for a bit. Also, Jin Tai pulls off some really, really superhuman feats at times. Like, I mean, everyone, I mean, not everyone, but like, there's always stories of people in wartime that during the middle of battle who do some pretty extraordinary things. But this consecutively, that many times, I mean, even Chris Kyle, if he were alive today, if he saw this movie, he'd be like, "Come on." May he rest in peace, regardless of how good or bad of a person he may really have been. But anyway, I digress. This is a really good movie. A little melodramatic at times, as many Asian movies unfortunately are, but for the most part, acting, writing, directing, everything, editing, all that kind of stuff are pretty damn good. Guys, trying to think of anything else worth mentioning. If you don't really know that much about the Korean War, like there's been very, very few movies made in America about it compared to Vietnam and World War II films. This isn't exactly a very movie that's all about historical accuracy. This isn't based on a true story, though at least it might be loosely based on one. I don't really know for sure, but it's but like I said, all the costumes and set design, all that's still authentic. It's still you always buy it that it takes place in 1951, and yeah. If you really want, if you want to get into Korean cinema, South Korean cinema, and this is definitely a good movie to must watch. Just like as far as war films made in Asia, there are a few. There aren't really that many other there are countries that make good ones like the South Koreans can. Like I've seen a few Chinese, Japanese war movies. Japanese make damn good samurai films and they damn good crime thrillers, and Hong Kong movies are still make pretty good action movies, but as far as war films go, period war films, this is still one of this is definitely one of the best, aside from its flaws. And if you like war movies, period war films like Furious and Private Ryan, watch this. If you want to get more into South Korean cinema, or if you are South Korean cinema into that cinema and you haven't actually watched this yet, then definitely check this out. Really good movie. Check it out.